Good afternoon everyone and welcome to the Virtue Motors Arena for today's Derby Day clash and the WBBL Championship between the visitors, the Durham Palatinates, and the home team Newcastle Eagles. Some team news to give you shortly, but I'd just like to introduce my left-hand man as he is when we're sitting upstairs, Dave Elderkin, who's got some family interest in the game today.
Yeah. Say that my daughter-in-law's playing. I think it's fair to say that the result at Durham was a real surprise. A reversal today would seal a playoff spot for the hometown Eagles, so the stakes are pretty high for Chris Bunton's team. And you'd hope, though, that this would still be a good game, in that Durham really, should play with abandon. They've nothing at all to lose. And if you go back to the game at Durham, then you don't have to be a genius to work out that the shooting stats of Newcastle would pretty much rule out winning any game. And it remind you of anything like Friday night?
Yeah,
but of course,
absolutely.
what an amazing turnaround on Friday night. So we need a similar one from the ladies today as far as the shooting percentage is concerned. I think the big thing is the contrast between the two teams couldn't be more pronounced. Durham have got forwards who can pretty much live and match up with anybody, and likewise the Eagles have got the backcourt that's the envy of many in the league. So maybe, who knows, it might be a swing player that might decide this one just like, say, Abigail Lowe, who could have a big role to play, because we all now know there's no Georgia Smith. Or could the Spanish guard from Durham find the form she did against Oakham Wolves when she knocked down 18 points? Because in pretty much every other game it's somewhere between 2 and 9. And in terms of the forwards at Durham, I mean, they got this new signing in March. Not a great scoring player, but she is another tough rebounder. So you would expect Durham to take care of the boards at the very least.
Yeah, and as Dave mentioned there, no Georgia Smith for the Eagles tonight. She's flown back home to Australia, and Georgia was one of those people who are coming off the bench to good effect and giving Chris Bunton and his team some good minutes. So it'll be interesting to see how the Eagles cover that. We also know that Ruth Thornley, who's struggled all year with injury, looks like she's out for the season now as well. So the Eagles, if they win today and get into the playoffs, are going to be going into the playoffs very short-handed. But if they do get to the playoffs, they would be having what Durham have got today, really a free hit against somebody, not really expected to win. I think for me, I'm interested to see how the game is called as much as anything else, because I think that could have a big bearing on which way it goes. And I think we talk about head-to-heads and things. We know that the head-to-head in this one doesn't really make a great deal of difference because Durham can't make the playoffs, but I'm sure the Eagles would like to get a 6-point win today and at least have the bragging rights in the Northeast as well. But more than anything else, a 1-point win is essential for Chris Bunton and his team just to consolidate and confirm that playoff place.
Well, you mentioned the absence of Georgia Smith, and a lot of talk around and reading reviews and everything about some of the younger players stepping up from the bench. If I was coaching this team here, the one I would really want to see step up is Rachel Bland.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I think Rachel's again suffered a lot with injuries this season and hasn't probably produced some of the form that we know she's capable of. I mean, she did start the season quite well, funnily enough, and till she got her injury, but she seems to have struggled to get back from that. And we've had, obviously, Abby Lowe has stepped up since the two girls left, Lisa Cooper and Manti Kveda who shoot. But then we also had the issue with Ori Chukwuedo, who's also stepped up into the starting five and has become a good starter in her own right, sort of thing. But neither Ori or even Deborah Rodriguez-Perez, who had a really good game last week against Oakland, are natural scorers. So the Eagles do rely very heavily on Maddie McVicker, Alison Gorell and Abby Lowe for points. So it's going to be an interesting game. I think it should be a fairly close one, I would have thought. And I just got the starting fives through. So for the visitors, the Durham Palatinates, it's number 0, Claire Paxton, number 7, Katie Bennett, number 12, Ellie Hutchinson, number 14, Lise Van Stratton, and number 21, Cara Elderkin. No surprises there, and no surprises in the Eagles 5 either. Number 4, Maddie McVicker. Number 9, Abby Lowe. Number 13, Deborah Rodriguez-Perez. Number 14, Ori Chuku Etu, and number 23, Alison Gorell. Quite a difference from Friday night when you had the Sky cameras in. There was a lot more noise around here, wasn't there? Players take the knee. And it'll be Rodriguez Perez versus Eldigan, I would imagine. Yep. Tip off about to take place.
Unfortunately, we can tell the difference between black and dark purple.
And it's the Eagles who win the tip, and Chukwuetu advances the ball. Eagles moving it around the perimeter. Low back to Chukwuetu. McVicker and Gorell trying to get free. It's Gorell who does get free. Turnaround jump shot is good. Friendly home roll. 2 points for Alison Gorell, and Eagles off and running. There's Bennett. Eldican. That's going to be the first foul of the game on Abby Lowe. 30 seconds in.
Well, she's fouled the player from the Netherlands, Lies van Straten, who her numbers weren't very good when she first came to Durham, but she's definitely improved as the season's gone on, and she is a threat. I think she's a lefty.
Bennett and Eldigan working two-man game there, and here's Van Straten again, back out to Bennett, but Bennett steps on the line, and that's turnover for Durham.
Yeah.
I remember when at the beginning of the season you mentioned that Lies van Straten could be a useful addition for Durham, but she wasn't very fit, was she, at the beginning of the season?
No, she took a while to get into the swing of things, but she's definitely improved. I mean,
I think she's up tonight, so just over 8 points a game and 5 rebounds a game, so she's starting to come good after a slow start. Obviously season running down now, but it's been a tough one for both of these two teams, really.
Great hands there by Van Straten.
Yeah, and Bennett brings it away to Hutchinson. Van Straten drives in hard. Oh, lovely pass to Eldigan. Eldigan, another lovely pass, but the long two from Hutchinson is short. Eldigan with a rebound. That'll not be the first of the day or the last. Van Straten into Paxton. Paxton knocks it down. 2-2.
She's tough to guard, but not impossible to guard when she gets back to the basket in there. But where she's really tough to guard is when she spots up outside.
Here's Abby Lowe, turns twice. Van Straten turned awkwardly there, slipped. Abby Lowe's three is off.
Yeah.
Paxton takes the rebound. That's a really unusual zero. It looks more like an 8 to me. Bennett goes all the way to the basket, but Rodriguez Perez with a big block. And here's Gorell at the other end. He gives it Abby Lowe. Abby Lowe steps back for three, and it hits the front of the rim and comes back out. Paxton takes the rebound again. Van Straten comes away with it. Up to Hutchinson, into Bennett. Oh, Bennett should have given it to Eldigan really there. Van Straten puts up the three instead, and that hits the front of the rim and comes back. I think Durham missed a chance there, Dave.
Well, Katie Bennett's got a big night on her because she's the one who's been selected to guard Barry McVickers, and also she's the one who seems to be making most of the ring at the point.
Yes, McVicker for three. Her first shot of the game is off.
Good hand pressure there. One thing it's difficult for a shooter to do is see the basket when this player is very aggressive with the hands in front of their eyes, and that was good defense from Katie Bennett.
Yes, Hutchinson, that's a nice pass to Van Straten. Rodriguez Perez makes them back out. Bennett for three though from Van Straten's skip pass, doesn't go. Both teams not quite got their shooting boots on yet, although both defenses are playing tough and not giving easy shots. As Gorell turns the corner, I think she's going to put the float off the back, and it doesn't go. Paxton once again with another rebound, and she's off and running.
It's interesting that Bennett's taking Ali Gorell because it was Cara who took her in the game at Durham.
Here's Bennett again. Seen a lot of the ball already. Hutchinson back to Paxton. 6 seconds on the shot clock. As Claire Paxton runs into the brick wall. That is Deborah Rodriguez Perez, but Cor Eldigan popped up from nowhere and took the rebound and just dropped it in for two.
Well, Claire Paxton, I guess, will get the assist for that. But it was an absolute mishandle.
Yeah.
But never mind, she'll get the assist for that. Of course, when Ali started causing problems down at Durham in the second half, it was Cara who had to step out of the 5 spot and guard her. Oh, and look what's happened here.
Yeah, she's stepped out now.
Yeah.
Abby Lowe going against Ellie Hutchinson. That's going to be a foul by Hutchinson. And Lowe drove the baseline.
The one thing I'll say about Ellie Hutchinson and Katie Bennett, obviously lots are expected of them, but they've come up through a good programme. They're both part of the Seven Oaks setup.
I saw that.
Yeah.
It's a very dangerous inbound pass from Abby Lowe to Ali Gorell, but Abby Lowe comes back and misses another 3. Still hasn't connected yet. Eagles still only scored 2. Durham only scored 4. Aldigan takes it back off Bennett. Bennett definitely showing a lot of the point here, and that's going to be a foul by Abby Lowe, and that'll be her second foul. This is what we talked about, the Eagles getting into foul trouble. Abby Lowe will take a seat.
Yeah, and despite all the talk about who would come in and play minutes today, our prediction was right. First in off the bench,
Rachel Bland.
Rachel Bland.
Abby Lowe and Chris Bunton talking over the foul. Abby didn't think it was a foul, and Chris is saying it was. I thought it was a foul, definite block and foul. Here's Katie Bennett. Van Stratton, 4 seconds on the shot clock. Ellie Hutchinson has to put it up. Does put it up spectacularly with her left hand and in off the glass for 2. And Durham lead early 6-2. 6-point run. Doing a good job on Gorell and McVicker. They're not allowing them to get any shots. And as you said before, Dave, Cara Aldigan's out there defending that. Rachel Bland comes on and her first shot is off. Rodriguez Perez battles for the rebound with Van Stratton but doesn't get it. But the ball's thrown away and McVicker's going to go in hard and lays it off to Chukwuetu. And she's fouled, I think, by Katie Bennett.
If there's 2 things about Claire Paxton game you'd like to address, one is you'd like to really, really work her on her defensive footwork. The other thing is she can throw careless passes. They were doing a fantastic job because I can't remember if it was Auckland or Cardiff, and she got a beautiful block shot. She caught her own block and passed it straight back to the Cardiff player.
So Ori Chukwuetu with the line, and once again, like it seems a bit like the first half on Friday. There seems to be a lid on that bucket for the Eagles. The foul was actually called on Claire Paxton as well. Yep. Chukwuetu misses both.
Well, Claire Paxton hasn't scored yet, and you'll now see the reason why. You just watch Chukwuetu.
Yeah, she's all over her.
Yeah, she's sticking to that task. She's face guarding her. She's not interested in helping out. She's clearly been given the task. Your job, Ori, is to stop Claire Paxton hitting 32. Or whatever it was at Durham.
34 was,
34
yeah, 34.
Was it?
Definitely in the 30s. Foul there on Rodriguez Perez inside. She's got a tough guard tonight, hasn't she, with Cara Aldigan.
Yeah.
As Katie Bennett seeing an awful lot of the ball early on, obviously, for running the point. McVicker standing off her slightly. Aldigan for 3. That one's just off. And Lise Van Stratton went for the rebound, but illegally.
Well,
Push on
absolutely no call. Absolute no call.
Players should be allowed to battle for rebounds.
Absolutely.
Without referees interfering, but that's just my view on it. Referees obviously saw it differently. Eagles moving the ball once again around the perimeter. Good hands by Lise Van Stratton.
Yeah,
stops the ball getting into Alison Gorell.
Quite impressed with her defence as well at the moment. Well, we've got to be impressed with somebody's defence because at the moment the Eagles have scored 2 after 5 minutes and 10 seconds of play.
So Katie Bennett comes out after a good solid 5 minutes, and Goretti Hurtado. Well, Goretta. So it's Goretta.
Hurtado.
Barbato.
That's it. And she's quick.
GHB.
She is quick. Just call her. That was a great pass in.
Yeah, great pass in by Rodriguez Perez, and Alison Gorell makes the 2 points and is fouled. Foul is on Ellie Hutchinson, I believe.
You spend hours and hours and hours in your shell drill teaching players to shut off the low post. That was just too easy a pass.
And here's Jasmine Julia, or as she likes being called, Yaz. New player for Durham.
Yeah, she's been at Anglia Rusting in EBL Division 1 for 3 years.
Alison Garrell makes the free throw. It's 6-5. Very nearly given away by Hurtado Bebeto. Nice pass though from Julia to Eldigan, back to Julia. Left-handed three-point shot is good. That's how to make an impact. Good
Inside,
pass,
outside
good shot,
game,
yeah.
one of the great, simplest and most effective skills there is in the game of basketball.
Durham lead 9-5. At the moment, only really Ali Garrell's got going for the Eagles. Here's Rodriguez Perez, which is
well, it's
good
interesting
defense
that,
there.
yeah, interesting that Durham are doubling the low post position. That's a great steal.
Great steal from Paxton as Eagles, the shot clock was running down, and Paxton in for two.
Tough shot as well, because McVicker put her under a lot of pressure to make it.
Durham off to a good start, 11-5, 3:55 to go in the first quarter. Playing some really tough defense. There's Van Straten, I think she's going to be called for a foul there, yep.
Well, this is where it gets interesting for Durham, because you can't afford
Well, actually,
for Van Straten, Eldikin or Paxton to get in foul trouble.
well, the foul was called on Cora Eldigan,
Oh.
so for a hold inside, so. And Durham in the penalty, so Ali Garrell will shoot two. Makes the first. She has all 6 of the Eagles' points so far. She's now made both them free throws, and she's up to 7 points personal, which is the Eagles' tally. Now what's that's what I called, yeah. So there's a lot of dispute going on once again. I think, the foul was put on 21. I was given on 21, and so what happened was that they thought the foul was on Garrell, and it was the foul had come off Van Straten, but it was actually a holding foul on Cora Eldigan on Rodriguez Perez inside. So Rodriguez Perez should have shot the 2 shots. She didn't, and Alison Garrell did. But anyway, meanwhile, back to the game. Excellent play by Cora Eldigan.
Yeah, what an assist.
Van Straten, and that's for 2 points for Durham, 13-7. It's a nice pass in by Ali Garrell. Once again, Rodriguez Perez can't finish under the basket, and Claire Paxton comes up with the rebound. Here's Hurtado Bebeto. And she passes it straight into Maddie McVicker, who almost loses the handle, but she manages to recover it. And Ali Garrell getting out in transition is found by McVicker, and that brings Eagles back to within 4.
That was a really costly turnover. There was absolutely nobody to prevent that fast break.
Eagles up to 9. Durham on 13. Durham's scoring has been shared out quite a bit, whereas Eagles have got all 9 points from Garrell. Nice pass from Julia to Hurtado, but she doesn't make it, but Eldigan's up there again for the rebound. Van Straten for 2, and it goes. Tough play by Eldigan underneath the basket. And the other end, Garrell finds Chukwuetu, back to Garrell. Garrell's not really guarded there in the middle, left free, and she knocks down another 2, and she's up to 11 points personal already.
That's Durham's Achilles heel, without doubt. Their interior defense is non-existent.
Hurtado Bebeto gives it to Eldigan. He has another 3-point put up by Julia, but she doesn't make it. Nice hands by Van Straten on the offensive rebound.
Good pass as well.
Great pass from Julia. Van Straten doesn't make the shot. Some nice play there by Durham, though, just didn't make the shot. It's a good pass inside by Alison Garrell, and that's going to be a travel on Rodriguez Perez.
Well, just as I'd said, Durham's interior defence was non-existent. It gets them a turnover.
It's a good pass in by Ali Gurel to Rodriguez Perez, but as she turned, she's met by two. Millie Oates takes her place for first minutes in place of Ori Chukwuetu. Durham with a chance to increase the lead, leading 15-11. Hurtado Bobeto. Back to Van Straten. Here's Julia for three again, and well, that's two from the same position. That might be the position she likes. Certainly is early on.
I'm saying she's not offensive minded, and she's 2 for 2 from the 3-point line, isn't she?
No, 2 for 3 because
she
missed from the on. Millie Oates, that's another turnover forced by the interior defensive Durham. Claire Paxton brings it up. Paxton, here's Julia again. Oh, that one is in, almost in and out. It certainly looks as if he's got the taste of shooting the three at the moment. Gurel goes in tough, makes the basket, and the foul will be on Van Straten.
And that's a big foul because I think that's number 3.
No, it's only a second.
Oh.
Yeah,
is that all part of the mix-up?
Yeah, it's all part of the mix-up from before.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's gone up as 1. It's been called on somebody else.
Been called on 5.
Wow. Fouls look a bit different up here than what they do on the floor.
It's certainly. I can't. How that was on Hurtado Bebeto, I really don't know. Or Barbeto, perhaps is a better way of putting it. Might just call her Goretta. There's Lise Van Straten. Strong, positive move there by Lise Van Straten for 2.
Lovely curl cut. What would worry me, Chris Bunton, or should worry Chris Bunton, there was absolutely no communication on that cut at all.
I think there's something else which might be worrying Chris Bunton as well. There's Gurel going to the basket.
Maddie McVickers hasn't got going.
No, and well, nobody has really. Millie Oates drills it long two, and it doesn't go, and that's going to be Durham's ball. What I was going to say, with 31.8 seconds to go, Alison Gurel is the only Eagle to have scored. She got all 14 points.
Wow.
So it's 20-14 in favour of Durham over Gurel. Here's Elderkin. Julia comes in too easily for the 2 there. Knocks it down. Durham very much in the ascendancy here, and deservedly so, by 8 points, 22-14. Eagles will hold for 1 shot. And will that shot be for Gurel? Yep, that's going to be a long 3, but it's blocked by Elderkin. Rodriguez Perez manages to get it away before the buzzer, but doesn't make it. And I think the Eagles are going to have a long talk, Dave, during this quarter break. We're going to go to an advert first, though. Okay, so first quarter done. Durham deservedly in front by 22-14 here, and they've shared the ball around and shared the scoring around, whereas the Eagles' only scorer has been Alison Gurel with all 14 points.
Yeah, I mean, there's a definite weakness, or pretty much there was a weakness in Durham's defence around the interior. You know what the weakness is in Northumbria's defence at the moment? There's absolutely no talking at all going on. The Durham are cutting players into wide open spaces. Nobody's calling, nobody's yelling out close downs. They're not talking on the screens, and that curl cut from Van Straten should never have happened in a million years.
What we're also looking at for the Eagles is Maddie McVicker has only shot the ball once, and we know how well she can shoot the ball. She was fantastic last week against the Auckland Wolves. She really needs to get going, but then you've got to give a lot of credit to the way Durham have defended her. She hasn't been able to get free for Durham. Lise Van Straten has 6 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds. Claire Paxton has 4 points and 6 rebounds already, and Yasmin Houlier has 8 points off the bench. And that'll probably please Lee Davey as much as anything.
Fantastic performance from the young lady. It really is, yep.
No real foul trouble. I mean, Hutchinson did pick up 2 fouls in that quarter. We thought least Van Straten had picked up 3, but 2 of them were given elsewhere. But that's why the referees are on court and we're sitting up here. So Durham will get us underway. Just waiting for Claire Paxton. Sort something out there. And we have done. And Durham are underway again with Hurtado, Barbato. That's deflected by Ali Gorel. And away, and here's Mac Vicker in the open. And oh, that one comes off the rim, but Deborah Rodriguez Perez, good offensive rebound and a pass to Mac Vicker, and Mac Vicker's off and running for her first 2 points of the game. Great pass from Hurtado Barbato, and the 3 from Julia is just off again. Rachel Bland comes away with it this time. Millie Oates decides to fall over. Don't know what quite happened there. Hurtado Barbato throws up the 2, doesn't make it. Rodriguez Perez takes a good rebound in front of Cara Eldigan. Ali Gorel for 3, that's way long. Bland can't get to the rebound. Julia brings it up. Behind the back pass to Van Straten. Van Straten kicks it out to Eldigan. Lots of room for Cara, but she decides to pass it on. 9 seconds left, but that's a great pass inside. Almost a good block by Rodriguez Perez, but she's called for the foul on Lisa Van Straten as she goes to the basket.
I mean, Cara's come close to a triple-double several times this year, and it's been because she's been having 7-8 assists in a game.
That's the second foul on Rodriguez Perez, so she takes a seat.
And I think the substitution is instinct from Coach Chris Bunton in that often when she gets a second, a bit like sometimes with Darius Defoe used to be, he gets his second, you know he's going to get his third.
Lisa Van Straten at the line to shoot 2. Makes the first.
Well, I said she was a lefty, but I knew there was a lefty in the team, but that turns out to be Yaz.
She's made 2 left-handed layups though, so she makes 1 of 2 free throws. Ali Gorel brings the ball over the halfway line to set something up. Eagles down by 7, 23-16. Mac Vicker out to Bland. Bland catch and shoot 3 is nice good. Shot. That's what the Eagles need more of. Yeah. Rachel Bland from the corner makes it a 4-point game, but Durham with an instant chance to change that again. Nice pass in from Julia. Yes, Hurtado. I'll get this name right in a minute. Hurtado Barbato.
Yeah, good inside-outside game. Unfortunately, that one didn't. Or fortunately for the Eagles, that one didn't fall.
And that's really high from Chukwueto. Millie Oates took the rebound, but she couldn't put it back. Mac Vicker trying to organise the defence. Julia comes in. Here's Van Straten driving hard to the basket. Doesn't make it. Chukwueto gets there for the rebound. Gives it ahead to Gorel. Gorel from the free throw line. Doesn't make it. Hurtado Barbato takes the rebound. Julia, nice pass in to Eldigan. Eldigan going against Rachel Bland. Hits the front of the rim. Bland did well there. Mismatch really. Gorel at the other end. Oh, can't make the 2. Rachel Bland gets a great offensive rebound. Mac Vicker for 3. And in it goes. And that brings it back to a 1-point game. Maddie Mac Buckets gets going. We go to an advert. So that was an advert from Enigma Tap, one of the Eagles ladies sponsors. They've got an excellent beer garden if you ever fancy going down to North Shields and sampling some of the excellent ales that they put on in that bar. But here, get back to the game. Eagles have come right back with Matty McVicker getting going, Dave.
Well, you know, it was inevitable that she would get going, but I think that I think it's suddenly Durham that have got to look at the strategy. First of all is the face guarding Claire Paxton. Nobody's setting any screens for her. And secondly, Durham are giving up wide open shots, really, really wide open shots for the extra pass. And of course, you hold the ball and give up a wide open shot, you give the defense a chance to recover.
Katie Bennett's back in. It's Lise Van Straten, I think that's good. No, yeah, Lise Van Straten who's took a seat. Ricardo Barbeto. Julia, that's a bullet pass to Bennett. Bennett drives hard, met by Lowe and McVickers, and that's going to be a travel by Ricardo Barbeto, and she seemed to know it as well, because she knew just straight away, ball down, and Eagles have got a chance for the first time, well, since the first booklet of the game, to take the lead. Abby Lowe, who's back on for Rachel Bland. Molly Arnold's also come on for Millie Oates. And that's...
Well, I think that young lady's every right to look at John Paul Heron and complain about that foul. That was a great block.
Well, he says she caught her on the side of the head, and I can't see that myself personally. Yeah, but it's been called, so it's McVicker at the line for two. Knocks the first one down. Second foul on Ricardo Barbeto. McVicker up to 7 points very quickly. And there's going to be a substitution here. Eva Pacheca comes on, and Ricardo Barbeto takes a seat. Katie Bennett takes over at the point for Durham. Eagles leading by 1 point, 24-23 after those two free throws from McVicker. There's Eldikin. Bennett. Nice ball movement, lovely pass from Julia. But once again, Bennett's pass inside is deflected by the Eagles. And Abby Lowe is able to bring it forward. McVicker for three, that one's off. Eldikin takes a nice rebound. Outlet to Bennett. But once again deflected by McVicker, but Julia gets it. Back to Eldikin. Julia into Paxton. Strong move by Claire Paxton once again against Molly Arnold.
It was a smart move as well, because she knew she had a big height advantage and she got sealed the defender really well. Maybe that's the change of strategy that we were looking for. The face gardener outside, take your player inside and seal him in the post.
McVicker up for two and in for two. She just gets some nice elevation when she gets into that lane.
She's got great rhythm on her shot, and that's because she uses her legs a lot.
Bennett.
She sets her feet really well when she shoots.
Julia for three, and it goes again. That's her third three of the game, and that gives Durham a lead at 28-26, and Chris Bunton calls a timeout. Well, I do apologise if I'm pronouncing this name wrong, but Jasmine Julia has now got 11 points personal and has knocked down 3 of 3.
Yeah, the scouting report's all over the place. None of that is in the scouting report. I mean, what's happening here is there was a stranger strategy needed by both teams. They absolutely needed to get Manny McVicker going in the game. That's happened. And Durham are going to find it difficult to win without Paxton being a big part of their offense, and that was a really smart move when she drifted in from the weak side and did a nice seal right in the post. It's difficult to stop her feeding it in, because I think Newcastle have only got 1 6-footer. Durham have got pretty much 4.
Yeah. I mean, you got Claire Paxton, Coral, Lise Van Straten,
and your friend Jazz is
5'11". Yeah. And you look at Claire Paxton as well. She had 34 points down at Durham in the victory there. She's only got 6, but she hasn't missed a shot yet. She's 3 of 3, and
Yeah.
she's also got 6 rebounds, so she is having a big influence on the game already. I mean, credit to the Eagles for cutting down her shots, but she is making the ones that she takes.
Yep. Got midweek, she had 28 against Cardiff as well.
Gorell back to Abby Lowe. She drives the baseline, and she steps on the baseline, or has it been given as a foul? I think it's been given as a foul. Fouls on 21, Cora Eldigan.
I absolutely don't see where these referees are calling these fouls from.
Well, I think when you look at the reaction of the players, I think they're probably in agreement with you, Dave. Mark Vicker to inbound. Just a long inbound to Gorell. Gorell gives it back to Mark Vicker. Mark Vicker comes in hard, or tried to find Chukwueto, couldn't. Ali Gorell manages to save it. There's only 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Gorell, I think's aware of that. Puts it up and it doesn't go. Eldigan takes a rebound and Paxton's off and running. Her pass is just a little bit too strong for Pachesa.
Coach Davey will be disappointed in that because it was an excellent rebound, excellent outpass, great drive by Claire, but just the finish just did not match it at all.
Mark Vicker to reply.
Some good, decent switching going on here by Durham, and I think you're going to have to do that on Matt Vicker.
Abby Lowe's shot is off. Julia takes the rebound. Mark Vicker's going to be called for a blocking foul on Bennett. Lee Davey on his feet calling a player. There's Katie Bennett's right next to him, so she should know what's going to be played. Pachesa into Eldigan. Eldigan out. Ball's flicked back, and Katie Bennett has run right the way around and gets a 3-point shot away. Good hustle from both teams inside. I think Ali Gorell's a little bit disappointed. She felt she had a clean rebound and dropped it, but great battling in there by Eva Pachesa.
Great attitude from all the players there. Nobody frightened to get the knees dirty. Fighting for those loose balls. Good to see.
Mark Vicker once again exchanging passes. It's Rachel Bladden who's got it now. Mark Vicker. Chukwueto into Gorell. Gorell knows there's only a couple of seconds left on the shot clock. It's going to be have to put up. It's going to be too late, I think, is it? Nope, they didn't call it. I think it looked as if it was possibly after the buzzer, but it didn't matter because it didn't go in. Julia and Abby Lowe having a great battle there. Here's Eldigan. Pachesa. Bennett. Here's the shooter in the corner, but Mark Vicker's out there. Nice pass inside to Eldigan, but Eldigan slips, but is fouled. And it's been given on Abby Lowe, and that'll be her 3rd foul. And it's a timeout to Newcastle Eagles, 3:47 left. Notice Chris Bunton doesn't like holding back on his timeouts, does he, Dave? You know, I mean, probably keeps the ones in the second half, but the ones in the first half, he is quite happy to burn them if he feels the need.
Yeah, timeouts in the first half are often about instincts, particularly if you get a sense of what might happen, 2 or 3 plays down the road. But I don't know whether he's going to put Rodriguez Perez in because they could do with her in right now, but she's on 2 fouls and she is prone to foul trouble, so he may well consider that 3:47 to go, you're only 2 down. He may consider it's a gamble worth taking of not putting her in and keeping those 3 fouls for the second half. Obviously an interesting decision he's going to have to make. The decision Durham are going to have to make is simply to get Claxton more involved in the game. Either A, banging some screens on a defensive player, or instructing her to work her way under the basket, because they've got good ball movement.
I think the one person who does have to come out here, regardless of who goes in, is Abby Lowe, because she's picked up her 3rd foul.
Yeah, well, that should be a no-brainer.
Yeah. Looks as if he's just looking at the Eagles bench here, looks as if he's flexing her hand. It looks as if it's. Yeah.
Well, he's made the decision. Perez in.
Yep. Perez in and Milliott's in as well. Abilo and Chukwueto out. 3:47 to go. Visitors lead by 2 at 28 to 26. Here's Bennett. Julia into Van Straten, who's back on the court. Oh, she tried to produce a nice little pass there, but it just didn't come off. And Gorell's all the way to the basket for 2, but doesn't make it. But she manages somehow to get the rebound. I think it was the Durham players got in each other's road and the ball fell loose to Gorell, and she's levelled the game up at 28 points all. Good hands by the Eagles defence. Bennett, there's Van Straten. Nice pass inside to Eldigan, who can't make the layup, and Rachel Bland picks up the defensive rebound. She's going to go coast to coast. Her shot is off the rim. Rodriguez Perez battles for the rebound and gets it. It's a ball to Ali Gorell. It goes to McVicker. McVicker's going to drive all the way to the basket. That's too high off the glass, but bailed out by the referee. Fouls on 24. That's Yaz Julia. McVicker will go at the line to shoot 2. Five of Newcastle's 28 points have come from Maddie McVicker and Alison Gorell. McVicker makes the first. Misses a second, but she's still into double figures with 10 points. The Eagles lead by a point. Katie Bennett. Eldigan, Julia, deflected by Gorell, but Julia puts up the 3, and that's nobody in there for the rebound, so it's easy one for Rachel Bland to pick up. Nice pass from McVicker. Nice move by Gorell, but she can't make the bucket. Carl Eldigan comes away with the ball, and now Claire Paxton has it. Katie Bennett looking to use the screen. Julia, wow, she's thrown that ball straight over the top of the cutting Elise Van Straten. She seems to like a bit of a no-look pass as well at times, and it's a timeout called by Coach Lee Davey for Durham, and we'll go to an advert. So 2:13 to go in the first half. Eagles lead by 1, 29-28. We did think it was going to be a close game, and that's the way it's been proved at the moment. Difficult to say which way this game's going to go, Dave.
Well, on the evidence of the last 3 minutes, Newcastle should be 10-15 points ahead. They're creating chance after chance after chance, and Durham's offense has just simply dried up.
Speaking of dried up, if you're feeling thirsty, you could always log on to WL Distillery's website and get some gin for yourself. WL Distillery, actually from South Hetton in Durham, but they sponsor the Newcastle Eagles. So big thanks to them, shirt sponsors of the Newcastle Eagles. That's WL Distillery. Eagles back underway. McVicker, well, that has to, I think that this time, I was going to say when McVicker's 3-point shot came off and Rodriguez Perez went for that ball, she was already being held in a bear hug by Elise Van Straten. So quite an easy call for the referees. Neither side in the penalty though, so end line ball for the Eagles.
Well, I think Coach Davies got to get Van Straten out because that's the third. Is that right? Third?
No, it's a second, I think.
Oh. She's living a charmed life then.
She seems to have fouled a lot, but it's only been called twice. So Gorell once again, I think you have to say that Paxton got hands on that, to be perfectly honest. Eldigan gets it to Bennett, and Good transition by Durham. Van Straten, Julia thought about the three, but has decided to come inside. Tried to find Eldigan, but throws it over the cutting Cora Eldigan. Just a little discussion between the referees, but it is the Eagles' ball. And interesting comment from our producer Stu saying watch where the players are walking, because the players had already decided which way it was. I can remember when I used to referee football under nines, Dave, and if I wasn't sure which way a throw-in was, I used to just wait for the kids, and they would always give the decision for you, because they were always so honest at that age. Here's Millie Oates to Mac Vicker. Mac Vicker trying to get space. Katie Bennett doing a good job on her. Millie Oates drives to the basket, but can't make the layup. Claire Paxton comes away with yet another rebound. That'll be her 8th rebound of the game. Eldigan, Pacheza, nice pass in, but no, stolen by Rachel Bland. And Pacheza, in a frustration, comes up with the foul. And this time we are in the penalty for Durham, so Rachel Bland will go to the line to shoot 2. Rachel Bland makes the first. Makes the second at 31-28. That's the Eagles' biggest lead of the game, which shows you how close it's been.
This substitution here that's coming in from Durham, in my opinion, is long overdue, because Durham's offense has been static, it's been lifeless the last few minutes, and she's the one who was injecting some pace into it.
So that's Hurtado Barbatos come on for Van Straten. And she's immediately stolen the ball, stolen by Rachel Bland, who... Well, Rachel Bland, excellent steal, but she missed the layup, but Chukwueto came up with the rebound. But I think there's been another foul called on Katie Bennett.
Durham need to get their press breaker organised a little bit better.
Bland makes a free throw. Makes them both. That's 4 of 4 from the line. Very in quick succession from Rachel Bland. She's up to 7 points personal and 4 rebounds. And that's a great trap by the Eagles. Katie Bennett, I don't know if she meant to do that, but it was very smart if she did. She dropped the ball onto Chukwueto's foot and it went out because she was trapped in the corner. So I'm going to give her credit for that. Hurtado Barbato into Bennett. Eagles press is going really well, and great play by Alison Garrell, but once again Ori Chukwueto can't make the layup, but she managed to get the offensive rebound, and when she went up for the second time, Katie Bennett fouled her, and that'll be her second foul as well. Very slack play by Durham, Dave.
What did I say in the previous time, man? They need to get the press break organised. It's the way they're setting up is it's wide open for double team.
Ex-Eagle good. Mokanata takes the floor. Chukwueto makes the first from the line. Makes them both from the line. Eagles having a big quarter. It's 21-6 at the moment. Mokanata with a long pass to Pacheza. That was a nice pass. And that was also a good pass by Pacheza to Paxton, who also found Eldigan, but they've had to come back out.
I don't know why Paxton gave the ball up there.
Yeah, she looked as if she was in the clear.
Absolutely.
Pacheza back out to Hurtado Barbato. She's going to drive at the basket. Nice drive by the Spaniard, and in for 2. Just cuts a little bit of a drought. The Eagles had gone up to a 7-point lead. Gorell misses to another steal. I think the Eagles could have held for a shot there, but they tried to take advantage of the numbers, Gorell, but she missed it. Hurtado Barbato. Said she was quick, Dave. She certainly is.
She handled the ball as well.
Morkanata driving in hard, and she manages to get the ball up and over. And I think that surely the 2 points are going to count, yeah. Right on the buzzer from Gerda Morkanata.
Well, Jeff, the end of pretty competitive first half. Nicely balanced, 35-32. I think it's pretty easy task for each coach here. Chris Punton will smell blood in the way that he's putting the press breaker on. And Coach Lee Davey will be wanting to organise a press break that doesn't put the ball inbound the ball into the corner to give an immediate double team.
It's also interesting that that's the half-time buzzer, and both teams are still on and around the benches as both coaches are talking to them. Neither have gone to the locker rooms just yet, although the Eagles now have broken and they go to the locker rooms. We'll take a break as well while we have a look at some of the stats. But at the half-time score, thanks to Morkanata's late basket there, is Newcastle Eagles 35, Durham Palatinates 32. Welcome back to the second half for today's BBL Derby clash, WBBL Derby clash between the Newcastle Eagles and the Durham Palatinates. Just having a look at some of the half-time stats, going for the individual scorers first. For Newcastle, Alison Gorell has 16 points, 5 rebounds and 3 assists. Maddie McVicker 10 points, all in the second quarter. And the girl that Dave picked out before the game to cover for Georgia Smith having left, Rachel Bland, has 7 points and 4 rebounds. For Durham, Yaz Julia has 11 points, Lise Van Straten has 7 points and Claire Paxton has 6. Their captain Carl Elligan has 7 rebounds. Claire Paxton also has 8 rebounds as well. Not really much in the stats. Durham shooting at 45.2%. To Eagles 26.3, but the biggest stat for me is the free throws. The Eagles have beaten the line 16 times and have knocked down 13 of them, whereas Durham have only beaten the line twice and have made one of those. Anything else that you see, Dave?
Well, I think those stats don't tell the story, but do tell the story in that Durham in that second quarter just simply did not attack the basket enough.
And as the other one I was looking at was that Durham have got 13 turnovers to the Eagles 5, but having said that, Durham have scored 7 points off those turnovers, whereas Eagles have only scored 6 off the 13 turnovers, so that doesn't really make a great difference.
I think a lot of Durham's turnovers have been intercepted passes that have led to a pretty easy... I haven't looked at this stat, but I bet Newcastle are winning the stat on the fast break points.
Yeah, it's actually not much difference though. Eagles have got 11. Actually this is a big difference. Sorry, I was going to mention that one. It's 11-2, so you're absolutely spot on.
Yeah, it's a lot of the Durham turnovers. I mean, there's obviously got to be a change of strategy in the Durham camp in that they've got to be more attack-minded. The press breaker cannot make the first pass to the corner, because if it does, then Chris Bunton's team will be double-teaming that all night.
I think one of the other things I'm just looking at, Dave, as well is like Durham have got a lot of fouls, but nobody on more than 2, but they've got quite a few people on 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people on 2 fouls, whereas the Eagles obviously only picked up 6 fouls in the whole first half.
Yeah, I don't understand that stat at all. I thought that the foul count, if anything, should be about equal.
Chris Bunton subbing himself in here. We're ready to go for the second half, and it's Eagles come out with Gorell, McVicker, Bland, Chukwuetu and Rodriguez Perez, and Durham with Paxton, Eldican, is that Hutchinson in the corner? Yep. Van Straten and Bennett. And we're off and running, second half underway.
Looks like we have a bit of a zone here.
Paxton turns the corner, gives Bennett back out, and Paxton catch and shoot 3 is just off, and that'll go dead.
Well, if that is a zone, that will give Paxton a chance to get open a little bit more for shots, but it'll be interesting to see if he stays with that.
Well, I think he's Well, I suppose he's trying to. But when you look at these people that's on court at the moment, there's only Mark Vicker got one foul. The others haven't got. Or Rodriguez Perez obviously is on, and there's a great back cut by Maddie McVicker, but she's fouled in the act of shooting. The foul was on Katie Bennett. Excellent cut from McVicker. And that's Katie Bennett's third foul. McVicker's first one was short. Second one is off the rim, but Chukwueto gets a rebound in front of Cara Eldigan and puts it back up for two, so the Eagles still get the 2 points. Claire Paxton looks as if she's taking a bit of a knock. Asked for a sub. She looks a little bit shaky. She goes off. She's replaced by Yaz Julia.
It's interesting that Julia has not started the second half, because she was probably the most attack-minded Durham player of them all, along with Bebeto. Neither of them have started the second half.
Julia on now for Claire Paxton, who's gone to the corner to see if she can get nice ball movement by Durham to get the ball up the court. 6 or 7 really nice snappy passes there. But Katie Bennett comes inside to Eldigan. Down to 6 seconds, and Bennett with a 3, which is way off. It was nice passing, but no end result. And Ali Gorell's long pass was taken well by Rachel Bland, and it's come back to Gorell. Chukwueto, she finds Rodriguez Perez inside, back out to Gorell, finds the cutting Chukwueto. Bland for 3, that one's off, but Ori Chukwueto's there for another rebound. Ali Gorell. Step back 2 is good. Eagles up 39-32. And Lee Davey wants to talk it over already, Dave.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean... Oh, sorry. I thought we were going to a timeout. I mean,
we nearly got one advert.
Yeah,
but we didn't this time. Yeah.
Durham have literally been drifting out the game, I feel, since about the midpoint of the second quarter, and you know, we're all different in the way we think about things, but I thought the 2 players with real life on the Durham were Bebeto and Julia, yeah. They chose not to start the second half with them, but he's been forced into one substitution. Let's hope that Claire's all right, but obviously he'll be concerned about the passive start they've made to this second half.
I thought the passing was really good there, but the passing was good, but it never looked like it was an end product coming, was it?
You need to pass with a purpose.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying about no real end product there, was it?
2 things you drill in practice is pass with a purpose, dribble with a purpose.
So the Eagles have got sneaked up to a 7-point lead, 39-32.
Of course, I mean, this, you know, in fairness, this has been a difficult year for Durham, because
absolutely, yeah.
the normal strategy of how they bring the players in was simply knocked out the window by COVID. And actually, the fact that they've actually put together a reasonably competitive team in the end is a credit to them.
Yeah, because they normally rely on student inputs. Is that right, Dave?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Obviously, they've got scholarships, and they attract players into, you know, really good master's degrees, and that just hasn't happened.
Yeah, with the COVID situation.
I mean, you look at the players I had last year. I thought Dee Hayward was absolutely awesome player.
Yeah. So yeah, they have been affected by it. There's no doubt about that. There's Chukwueto for 3 at the other end. That one's off the backboard, but a great offensive rebound by Alison Gorell, and she's put it back for 2. Just struggling a wee bit, Durham at the moment. Eagles up to 9 points. Oh. Steps out of bound, Ellie Hutchinson. I'm just wondering if Yasmin Julia has been a quarterback in previous, like, she certainly likes to throw them long passes. Claire Paxton's coming back, as is Goretta, Hertu Barbato. Van Stratton and Bennett go to the bench. Eagles lead 41-32. And they're on offense with McVicker and Bland. Bland having one of our better games of the season so far. McVicker for 3 is off. Rodriguez Perez though, good position for the rebound, and the ball's flashed round again, and McVicker drives in hard, kicks it back out to Garrell, but Garrell's shot is short. Another substitution. Yasmin Goulier goes off, and Eva Pacheco comes on. Eagles putting the press on. And that's going to be a foul by Rodriguez Perez in the back on Eldigan. Too keen. Cara probably knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And that's the third foul on Rodriguez Perez. So the Eagles only got 7 fouls, but they've got 2 players on 3 fouls each. Eldigan, lovely play by Eldigan. Paxton to Pacheco for 3. Well, I would have to say that had to go in because Claire Paxton was absolutely wide open,
absolutely.
wasn't she? But it did go in, so it's a nice 3-pointer from Pacheco from the corner. Cuts the gap to 6 points. But I must admit, when Claire Paxton made the pass, I was thinking, why on earth has she not gone for the bucket herself?
Passes can go astray, shots rarely do.
McVicker bounces for 2, and in it goes.
That's what, you know, it's that bounce in a shot that makes it so difficult to guard.
Once again, the Eagles putting the press on, and that's going to be Eagles ball. I would think so. I think it came off Pacheco. Well, the players have decided, and the referee's going to agree.
Yeah, well, one thing for certain is Chris Bunton's decided he's going to get a lot of mileage out of keeping this press on.
So the Eagles,
and who could blame him?
The Eagles do get the ball. Bland. Oh, what a lovely pass from Bland and McVicker for 2, but it's off. Eldigan can't quite pull in the rebound. Chukwueto did, but Garrell's shot is off, and Ricardo Beberto's off to the races. Yes, Pacheco almost stolen by Garrell, but she gets into the basket, can't make it. Ball's loose. Ali Garrell comes up with the ball. She's going to find Chukwueto, but that was always a little bit too far in front of Chukwueto. A little bit sloppy by Ali Garrell standards, but Chris Bunton perhaps feeling she needs a bit of a rest. First time she's come out the game today. Millie Oates goes in place of her. Interesting to see how long that lasts for, with Eagles only up by 8 and Durham on offense. And speedy Horato, but Barbato is off and running. There's Eldigan against Rodriguez Perez, but she finds Paxton with a long pass. Paxton comes inside. She's going to drive all the way to the basket. Doesn't make the shot though. Chukwueto takes the rebound. McVicker. She's going to drive all the way to the basket, McVicker, but I think she was trying to find Rodriguez Perez, but it's Bland who picks up the loose ball. 10 seconds on the shot clock. McVicker asking for a screen from Rodriguez Perez, but she doesn't quite get it, but she didn't need it because she was off and running to the basket. Lovely drive down the lane and lays it in with her left hand. And Lee Davies decided to take another timeout as the lead goes to 10 points, and we'll go to an advert. So that's his second time out in the third of the half, Dave, and we're not only 5:43 left in the third quarter, so he's obviously seen something he doesn't like.
Yeah, so obviously, hopefully, he's already had the one time out. He didn't really produce a dramatic change, did it? I mean, they're still very low scoring, and obviously, hopefully, this time he's thought of something that can maybe help them to switch the way the momentum goes. At the moment, Newcastle, I know the score doesn't reflect it, but it honestly feels that Newcastle are running away with this.
Well, I think what you've got to look at, you see it's only 10-point lead, so it doesn't look like they're running away from it, but it's 31-13 since the end of the first quarter. And I think that shows the difference.
Yeah.
Because remember, Durham won the first quarter by 8 points. And since then, the Eagles have held Durham in 15 minutes virtually to 13 points. So Durham need to get something going. Ali Hutchinson, though, has given it away. Ali Gurrell's picked it off. She's given it to Millie Oates. Millie Oates gives it back to Gurrell. Gurrell outside to McVicker. And that three-point shot is off, but Rodriguez Perez has done a great job on the boards again. Gets the offensive rebound. McVicker calls for a play, and she's going to drive the lane. Doesn't go in. Rodriguez Perez almost gets it again, but this time it's Pachesa who comes away with it. Eva Pachesa all the way to the basket. Flicks it out to Ali Hutchinson. Ali Hutchinson for three. Doesn't go. Great box out by Rodriguez Perez.
Absolutely excellent boxing out.
And Eagles back on offense. McVicker to Chukwuetu. Rodriguez Perez wanted that inside, didn't get it. Millie Oates comes in. Hand off to Gurrell. She tries to find Chukwuetu. She does find Chukwuetu. Chukwuetu goes hard to the basket. And it's come off Millie Oates' leg. Chris Button going ballistic on the sideline, saying one of you has got to go to the basket and put the shot up. So 45-35, 4:35 to go. Katie Bennett brings the ball forward. Gives it Eldican. Hurtado Barbados wide open, misses it. Comes back, and that's going to be a foul, and that could be a fourth foul on Rodriguez Perez. And it is. Chris Button gets a technical warning, feeling that the foul that was called at one end should have been called at the other. Abby Lowe, who must be quite cold, she's been on the bench for a long time, but she comes on to replace Deborah Rodriguez Perez, and that's a big foul. Rodriguez Perez hasn't scored in the game, but she has got 9 rebounds. Bennett, Hurtado Barbato, but the floater's no good, and Ali Gurrell picks it out. McVicker for 2. Maddie McBuckets is in again. 47-35. McVicker up to 16 points personal now. Good defense by the Eagles. Another deflected ball and another one taken up off the steal. Here's Gurrell. Oates back out to McVicker. McVicker sets up for the 3. That one's off the front rim and goes dead. McVicker probably thought she was in rhythm there and just knocked that one off the front of the rim, and the ball goes dead for Durham. The Durham turnover count now stands at 18. Here's Bennett.
Yeah, the very worst you want on turnovers is 4 per quarter, and that's in tough competitive games.
Nice play by Eldigan to get the ball to Bennett, but Bennett's shot is off again.
Yeah.
And Gurrell takes yet another rebound, and she's off and running again. Eagles can have a bit of patience if they want to. Here's Abby Lowe for 3. She's going to knock that one down, and she certainly does. Abby Lowe for 3. And it's a 15-point lead all of a sudden for the Eagles. Defensively, they're playing very tough here. Eldigan, nice pass inside. Hurtado Bebeto can't make the layup, though. It's a bit like the game down in Durham, really.
Yeah, I mean, that is so sad for Bebeto and Durham, because that was probably their best offense of the game.
Millie Oates drives in, finds Chukwuetu, but Eldican stole it, but she can't gather it in. Did stop the basket, though.
10 seconds. 10.
I think the Eagles must be delighted with the job they're doing on Claire Paxton at the moment. She's not getting anything, is she, Dave? There's Abby Lowe, turnaround jump shot is no good. Battles for the rebound. Was that going to be a jump ball or a foul? No, nothing was called, so we go. Eldigan brings it over, gives it back to Bennett. Here's Morganata. Nice spin move. Hurtado Bebeto for 3, and Durham have killed the drought. Good work by Gerda Morcanata to find Goretta Hurtado Barbeto, and Barbeto knocks down the 3. Gorel going to the basket, but she's passed that one straight to Barbeto. Just finds Paxton. That's a foul by Chukwuetu. That'll be end line. 1:54 to go. Eagles lead by 12. It's 50-38.
You know, when you're only on one foul in the quarter, that can go down as a really good foul.
Eldigan to Bennett. Katie Bennett's seen a lot of the ball. That's a nice pass inside. That was an even better pass from Morgan Arter, and a great finish by Eldigan.
The pass to Morgan Arter was a really good pass as well, and
It
a good
was.
back cut. So the last 2 offences, you know, have been Durham's best, and hopefully that's a sign of things to come in the game.
Abbey Lowe drives to the basket. Doesn't make the shot, but is fouled. Fouls on 7. Katie Bennett, I believe.
I think you're right, yeah.
That'll be her 4th foul.
Despite the look of innocence on her face, it was.
So she comes off. Ellie Hutchinson back in. Abbey Lowe at the line to shoot 2. Makes the first. Makes the second. Eagles back up by 12 at 52-40, and the press is on again. Here's Ellie Hutchinson trying to break that press. She's just got it over the halfway line. Eldigan does a good job in picking up. Morgan Arter kicks it out.
Great skip pass.
And that 3 deserved to go in. McVicker though takes the rebound. Great skip pass from Morgan Arter to Barbeto, but she couldn't knock down the 3. McVicker's going to go coast to coast, but she's kicked it back out to Abbey Lowe for 3. Abbey Lowe splashes the 3, and the Eagles move into a 15-point lead. It's 55-40.
That's the way to run your secondary break, Jeff. The defense was back, but it wasn't locked on anywhere. Quick ball movements, and you're home and dry.
And Abbey Lowe has stolen that one, and she's going to go all the way to the basket, and she'll put that in for 2. Makes the layup. Hurtado Barbeto with the foul, and Abbey Lowe has a chance for it and 1.
Yeah, Barbeto can have no complaint about that foul. She just needs to learn the NBA rule, Jeff. Let her get 2, but don't let her get 3.
Ali Gorel takes a seat, and that's a good substitution by Chris Bunton with his team up by 17 points. Give her an extra minute or so break. And Abbey Lowe knocks down the and 1 as well, and suddenly she's up to 8 points personal. Hutchinson, Paxton. No, they got out of the. That's the best one they've done yet so far. Well, that's going to be a travel, is it? Or nope, it's going to be a foul.
What it should have been was a pass inside to Eldigan.
Yeah,
That's what it should have been. Yeah.
Foul is on McVicker.
I think there's also a suspicion of a travel there as well.
There was, yeah. Ali Gorel doing a nice little dance step on the baseline, which brought a smile to the referee John Paul Herron's face. Morgan Arter though for 2 free throws. The first one's an air ball. Second one is good. 39 seconds left to go. Abbey Lowe. She's going to go. Is she going to go? Oh, great steal by Hurtado Barbeto. McVicker did well to get back, and that's Abigail Lowe's 4th foul, and she turned to go straight to the bench, but Chris Bunton may leave her out there for the last 26 seconds.
He might, and also that'll put Claire Paxton at the line, which would be a relief for her, because I don't think she's scored in this quarter, has
she? She hasn't, no. She's still stuck on 6 points.
I think Cara's only got 2 as well.
She knocks the first free throw down, takes up to 7 points. She has got 9 rebounds. And again, Eldigan's got 4 points, but she's got 7 rebounds and 3 assists as well.
But we all know you win this game on points.
Yeah. So Claire Paxton up to 8 with 2 successful free throws. 26.9 on the clock. So the Eagles, question whether will they run the clock right the way down to leave Durham with very little time. It looks that way. McVicker, they're back to the basket and holding the ball. Hurtado Barbeto is guarding that. McVicker, I think, fancies scoring again. Yeah, step back 3 is well off though. And it'll be 3.9 seconds left for Durham. And yeah, sensible decision by Chris Button to pull Abilou out for the last defensive play. Abilou had a big quarter there, 8 points in it. This is going to go long. It is going to go long. That's a great pass from Morganata. And Paxton gets the shot off, but it doesn't go. But that was a really good pass by Morganata. It's done quite well since she come on, but hasn't enabled Durham to close the gap. And it's 58-43 as we go into the last quarter in a minute and 50's time. But we'll go to an advert first. So we go into the last quarter with the Eagles leading 58-43. They've took the last 2 quarters 21-10 and 23-11. That's what's made the difference here. And you were talking about Claire Paxton hadn't scored. Obviously she did get those 2 points, and Cora Eldigan hadn't scored. The other one who hasn't scored was Yasmin Julia, who had 11 points at the half as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots and lots of things go through a coach's mind. You know, when he's deciding who's going to be in the lineup, who's not, and everything else. And all we can do is commentate on how we see it up here. I see Babette Rowe as the probably most productive guard in the Durham team. I think she puts more energy and life into their offense. Ayala was probably more offensive-minded than anybody in the first half, but you know, coach may be seeing different things because. It's been too easy for Newcastle to score in that quarter. One good thing Durham have done is they've changed that it's not been affected by the press because they've not been given Newcastle Eagles the chance to put it on in the way they were in the first half. And also I think you know, when you get 15 ahead, your intensity goes out of a press anyway.
So a big quarter coming up for Durham. Obviously a big quarter for the Eagles as they look to confirm their playoff place. Something we weren't quite sure was going to happen a few weeks ago. Good ball movement into the corner. Molly Arnold puts up the 3, but it's just off. Nice shot though. Nice open shot for her. Hurtado Barbeto to Eldick. Back to Hutchinson for 3, but that's off, and Rachel Bland takes her 5th rebound of the game.
Simple is best. Babette created everything about that offense. Then good pass out from Eldikin to the girl who was wide open.
Ellie Hutchinson
just couldn't knock it down.
Yeah, just couldn't knock it down. McVicker to Oates. Oates for the long 2, and in it goes for Millie Oates. Her first points of the game. Eagles up by 17, 60-43. First strike of the
She must have had a lot of spin on that ball because it was a flat shot that went in.
She has got a very flat shot indeed. Hurtado Bebeto though replies with a 3 from the corner. Chris Button not happy with his defense on that one. The ball was out to her very quickly. That's a nice pass by Rachel Bland inside. Foul, I think, by Claire Paxton. Foul is on Claire Paxton. That'll be her second. Just looking at Alison Gorell. 20 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 5 steals.
A lot of good leadership.
Yeah. She's missed the first free throw. I'm thinking for another build-up. First free throw she's missed today. Knocks the second one down, takes up to 21 points personal. That's still not up to our season average. Gerda Morganata comes out. Yasmin Juliel goes back in. Hurtado Barbato brings it up. Hutchinson thought about shooting the three, decided not to. He was held looking at the top of the key. Ball's moved around nicely, but we have to have a shot. And there it is from Julia, and that's off. Hits the front of the rim. Hurtado Barbato takes a good rebound. Ellie Hutchinson's going to try and get to the basket, but she can't make it. Rachel Bland cleans up for the Eagles. I think Millie Oates is looking a lot more confident as well these days, just getting those
good
minutes.
Good to see these young players, isn't it, improve.
She's gonna put that up now. No, it's a travel. Yeah, I was going to say, look as if she hadn't put the ball down cleanly. Once again, build her up. She makes a mistake.
I think when we get to the end of the season, we'll have to have a review about whether our production team is allowed to join the coaching staff by assisting them on how many minutes there are to go or seconds there are to go on the clock.
Julia's three is well off, but Barbato gets in another rebound, and that's going to be a foul by Rachel Bland, who doesn't. She thought she got all ball, but referee Fennick didn't believe it.
I thought she got all ball as well. I thought that was terrific defence. Good lively play by Barbato, and she had every right to think she was going to score, but that was just excellent defence from Rachel Bland. And Barbato's quick.
She is very quick.
Yeah. Makes the defence from Rachel even more potent.
Misses the first free throw. Looked as if it was going to get the drop. The point about Barbato is well made. I mean, she's got 8 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists and 3 steals. She has got 4 turnovers as well, but some good numbers there though. In reasonably limited minutes, 19 minutes she's played.
There's probably an even more important point, Jeff, that you have no way of knowing. COVID doesn't last forever, we hope.
Yeah.
Durham will get back to the normal recruiting, and I think she's on a 3-year course.
So that's good news for Durham, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great news.
She certainly looks well capable, and by saying well capable, Claire Paxton was well capable at the other end.
Well, you have to answer 2 things then is, where on earth was the Durham defence, and secondly, how on earth did Ali Gollum miss that?
Yes, Claire Paxton at the other end. It's back down to 13. That's a nice pass and great defensive work by Molly Arnold. And Millie Oates leads the charge at the other end. Rachel Bland. Back to Molly Arnold. Nice play by the 3 Eagles. McVicker can't make the bucket. Barbato bounces the ball unfortunately off her own foot. Ali Gorell says, give it to me, let's calm it down for a few seconds. Katie Bennett comes to the bench. She'll be substituting in a minute. Ali Gorell to Rachel Bland. Bland looking for a cutter. Not one there. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Ali Gorell's 3-point shot is off. Julia takes the rebound and she's going to come forward. She might well shoot the 3. Nope, she doesn't. Millie Oates. Barbato though does. This one's off. Millie Oates really getting in tough there in amongst the trees and getting her hands to the ball. Not taking it cleanly, but gives the ball to the Eagles. There's Gorell at the other end. She's triple teamed. Knocks it out to Molly Arnold. That's another travel.
Well, talking about the triple team, that's why Babetta was able to get such a wide look at this end. The triple team, Cara Eldikin, in the low post. And there was a great pass out to Babetta, just didn't knock the shot down.
So 6:10 to go. Chris Bunton calls his first time out of the of the second half. Still had all 3 up his sleeve. 61-48. We're not going to go to an advert this time. We're going to talk about it, Dave.
Well, it's looking pretty good for Newcastle at the moment, isn't it? 13 up. I mean, you mentioned before the game, as far as the head-to-head's concerned, it's not really relevant because I don't think there's any way at all that Durham can make the playoffs. So there's never going to be a situation where these two are tying for worrying about a head-to-head as to who goes. And as you say, this is a big night for Chris Bunton. Who would have thought with some of the early results this season that they would be making the playoffs, but it very much looks now like they can. They've had a few things they've had to overcome in terms of, Caverdi shoot and Klopp, having to leave the programme, and now Georgia Smith having to leave the programme. But they've recovered from all those and have been pretty competitive in this second half of the season.
And just a word about the Eagles men. They're just underway up there in Glasgow. No Darius Defoe in the lineup today for them. His hamstring injury that he picked up on Friday has kept him not just out the starting five, but out of the lineup completely. And Cortez Edwards has made the first bucket of the game, and Eagles men lead 2-0 there.
Well, that's probably the most distressing news as far as the Eagles is concerned all season, because he took his starting role the other night. He showed a lot of leadership. He had an awesome third quarter when he played on 4 fouls pretty much. And obviously, a hamstring doesn't heal up quickly.
Bennett tries to drive in, but Gurrell's there for the steal.
Really good hands.
Gives it to Mark Vicker. Mark Vicker for 3, and in it goes. And the risk is sounding boring. Matty Mark Buckets is there again off a Gurrell pass for 3. 64-48 to the Eagles. Here's Hutchinson. Nice screen by Paxton. Bennett from the corner for 3 is too long. Julia, though, kind of realised that was going to happen straight away and was in there for the rebound and put back for her first points of the second half. Eagles lead by 14 with 5:10 to go. Mark Vicker now up to 19 points personal. Nice pass, nice cut, nice pass from Rodriguez Perez, nice cut, but non-existent defence from Durham.
Yeah, you teach your players don't get face cutted. Well, obviously I think that's pretty self-explanatory, and once you take your eyes off the ball on a player who's passed the ball, you're going to get somebody cut right in front of you.
It's Julia with a now almost famous no-look pass, and there's a 3-point shot from Hutchinson which goes in. I think that's the first points for, no, it's a first 3-point shot that she's made. She's up to 5 points personal. There's Gurrell, lobs it into Bland. Bland tries to find Rodriguez Perez, but that's picked off by Julia. Here's Hutchinson, back to Paxton. Paxton in and out, back out to Hutchinson. Hutchinson over to Bennett. Bennett to Julia. Eldigan, but that one's bounced off Ali Gorrell. Well, Julia really likes that no-look pass by Davidson. Bennett for 3. That was good patient offense by Durham, and Bennett knocks down the 3, and Chris Button's absolutely distraught at that, really annoyed. Cuts the gap to 10 points as well.
The 2 young Seven Oaks prodigies knocking 3s down for us.
There's Bland in for 2, but that one's off, and Paxton can't quite get it in front of Rodriguez Perez, and Chris Button called that timeout. Perhaps he's wondering whether he should have done. Millie Oates comes out. Ori Chukwuetu back in. Eagles ball at the end line, 14-second shot clock. Chukwuetu gets free. Can't go up against the 2 bigger players. And that's the ball stolen away by
this, we're looking at an 8-point game.
Julia knocks down the... Oh, she doesn't knock down the 2. Thought she'd made that one there, and that probably would have called Chris Button into another timeout. But missed the shot, and Gurrell got the rebound. Bland into Rodriguez Perez. She's looking for Gurrell to come off the screen. She does. Ali Gurrell drives hard off the window, doesn't go. Paxton picks it up and drives hard at the other end. Finds Julia, but the bounce pass is just a little bit too hard. Once again, there's Julia's no-look pass. Perhaps she needs to have started looking when she passes.
Not quite sure how the official at this side of the floor can call an out of bounds at that side, or maybe
when the official at that side didn't call it.
Yeah, exactly.
To seem a bit strange at times.
But I think it was out. I think.
Mark Vicker, 3 minutes to go. Chukwuetu, Bland. Rachel Bland's had a good game for the Eagles tonight. There's Gurrell. Will she go to the basket? No, she'll give it to Chukwuetu, but she can't make the shot. They have to say that, looking at Alison Gurrell, she's got 21 points and 12 rebounds and 7 assists, and I think if her teammates had finished a little bit better, she would have had a triple-double. That was another almost open look for Ori Chukwuetu, but she didn't make it. Rachel Bland just gets a little hand on net, thinks it was turned over, but nope. And that's going to be a foul by Bland. Reaching in. Rachel Bland's second foul. Bennett and Eldigan exchanging passes. Julia, nice pass inside, but Bennett can't gather it. McVicker comes away. Heads up play once again by Maddie McVicker. She's looking for something, directing the traffic. Gives it back to Gorell. Gorell could have shot the three. She gives it to Chukwueto. She gives it back to Gorell. Gorell pops back for three. Doesn't go. Claire Paxton takes another rebound. She's taken an awful lot of rebounds tonight. That will be her 12th rebound. Ali Hutchinson gives it into Eldigan. Eldigan out to Julia. Knocks the three and it's come off the board. Rachel Bland takes a rebound. Cheeky little round the player pass. McVicker to Bland. Eagles just running the clock a little bit here. 10 points in front, 66-56. Down to 5 seconds on the shot clock. McVicker knows that though. Doesn't get the elevation there. Rachel Bland picks up the loose ball, but she can't make the layup. And Claire Paxton for three. It doesn't go. Chukwueto takes the rebound. Durham have had a few chances in the last minute or so. Rodriguez Perez, she's going to drive to the basket. Doesn't make it though. Eldigan comes away with the rebound. I think Chris Bunton's called a timeout in frustration as much as anything. Hutchinson into Eldigan. Eldigan drives to the basket. Turnaround jump shot is good by Cara Eldigan. Nice move. Cuts it to an 8-point game, but we're inside the last minute. Chris Bunton didn't call the timeout. I think he was going to, but he decided not to. We're inside the last minute. Eagles lead by 8. We'll either want to score here or make sure that Durham don't score if Durham get the ball back. So it's Rodriguez Perez. Ali Gorell is going to have to put this shot up. McVicker, does she get it away? I don't think she did. Didn't matter anyway. Ricardo Berbeto's coming back in for this last 31 seconds, and Yasmin Julia sits out. And it's an 8-point game, and Durham won the first one by 5, so we could still have a situation where the head-to-head comes in, especially if Barbato knocks down this three, which she has, and suddenly it is a 5-point game. Eagles has 24 seconds left, 24.5 on the game clock, and that's going to be a foul. Not in the penalty yet though.
Well, as far as the foul's concerned, Jeff, you could argue it came too late because you suddenly pull the game back within 5. Your only chance, slim as it may be, is to make it a long night. You don't need any seconds to go off the clock. They've still got 2 fouls to give. They need to give them.
Eagles have only scored 8 points in this quarter.
That's it. Go after the ball.
Foul on Rachel Bland by Katie Bennett, and that's her 5th foul, so she'll take a seat. Lise Van Straten comes back out. Still not in the penalty though. I think Chris Bunton's decided to call a timeout with 17.4 to go.
Pretty easy timeout, isn't it? Pass it in, let Durham foul you. Pass it in again, let Durham foul you. Now you're on the free throw line.
Just looking at the individual scorers once again for the Eagles. Alison Gorell has 21 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists and 6 steals. Maddie McVicker 19 points and 4 assists. Abby Lowe 11 points and 3 rebounds. Ori Chukwueto has 4 points, 8 rebounds and 4 assists. And Rachel Bland 7 points and 9 rebounds. Millie Oates 4 points and 2 rebounds. And Deborah Rodriguez Perez hasn't scored, but she has 9 rebounds and 3 assists. For Durham, their top scorer is Yasmin Julia. She has 13 points. She's also got 5 rebounds. Hurtado Bebeto has 11 points, 8 rebounds and 3 assists. Claire Paxton, 10 points and 12 rebounds for a double-double. Elise Van Straten, 7 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Cora Aldigan, 6 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. Ali Hutchinson, 5 points. So as Dave says, will it just be a case of foul, and put them on the line? They'll have to do it quickly though. 17.4 seconds left to go. I love these situations where it's an end when it's a sideline ball and nobody's but looking at the ball. So who's going to get out? It's McVicker who gets out, but that's not a foul. It's a steal by Hurtado Bebeto, and she's going for the 3, and oh, that 3 was just off. If that had gone in, that would have been a 2-point game. Here's Hurtado Bebeto again, and she's getting in for the... Doesn't make the layup. Elise Van Straten does make the layup, and Deborah Rodriguez-Perez does take that rebound. That was almost a fantastic,
That 3 would have gone in.
If that 3 had gone in, we would have had a timeout for the Eagles, and it could have been a really close game. But it didn't go in, and the final score is Newcastle Eagles 66, Durham Palatinates 61, which means the head-to-head tied. So honours even in the northeast for this season.
But of course, the home team, does now, we know, go to the playoffs, and of course they've got the advantage of that first leg being played here right at the Virtue Motors Arena.
And that'll be the advantage they'll be looking for, because it looks like they'll finish either 7th or 8th. That was the win they needed to get into the playoffs. So good effort by the Newcastle Eagles ladies, but a fighting effort by Durham, who, as Dave said, once the COVID situation gets out of it, they could be forced to be reckoned with again, because they found 1 or 2 players who could be good backup players.
I think this is the 4th season in the league. They've only made the playoffs once, but where they have had a little success is in cup competition. So they made the cup final and twice made the trophy final. Yeah. And they've picked up some useful players. And it's we started the ladies program. I think it was 2010 when we made the first move to try and get the ladies program going at Durham. And that year we just got really lucky. We got Noelia Quintas from Spain. We got probably one of the best players ever to play here. Can't even remember what her name is, but she was awesome. She was 11th leading scorer at Oklahoma Sooners, and she was just great. And Kim Bennett, who was really offensive minded as well. Leah Rush. Yeah, Leah Rush.
So hope for Durham in the future, but they've had a tough season, but they've battled away, and they gave a great performance today. But the victory goes to the Eagles by 66 points to 61, and that gives them a definite place in the end of season playoffs, which, when the adversity they've had to come through, is a really good effort. Just to remind you, for next week's games, the Eagles men are away at Worcester on Friday night, but next weekend it's a double header here in the Virtue Motors Arena. It'll be the WBBL game, Eagles versus the Mystics, at 1:30 p.m. and that's followed by the Eagles playing their nemesis, the Surrey Scorchers, at 5 o'clock. So join Dave and I for that doubleheader next Sunday, and until then, be safe, be good, and I hope you enjoyed it.